Live better and longer with the Fitzness Show, hosted by fitness expert, author, and TV personality Fitz Koehler. She'll tell you why diets are dumb, supplements are snake oil, and the truth about how you can earn a lean, hard, pain-free, and athletic body. Now for our favorite bossy blonde, Fitz Koehler.
Well, hi team. I'm Fitz Koehler, your apparently West Coast fitness pro and race announcer, and welcome to the Fitzness Show. I might be stuck on the West Coast. I think I might be stuck in California. Help! Please send help. It's not that I don't love it here, but oh my gosh, I have not been home in what seems like forever. I came out west for a 10-day trip to announce 2 back-to-back Mud Girl weekends, one in Los Angeles, one on the eastern side of San Diego, and then I ended up having to stay an extra 3 days. So it's basically a 2-week trip, and I miss my dogs. I miss my people, but I really miss my dogs. It's been a wonderful time here in California, but holy smokes, I think I might be stuck. I think this is a big ruse, and now I'm a West Coast girl. How did that happen? Okay, this is the truth, is I go home, I think on Wednesday, October 3rd, and I get home at about 4:30 in the evening if all my flights from Los Angeles land on time, and then 24 hours later, I have to be on an airplane to Ohio. So, it's been a wonderful work trip filled with wonderful work opportunities and wonderful friends and niceties. And Ohio for the APP pickleball tournament will be spectacular. And then I'll look forward to at least having a few days at home. Because poor Florida, poor East Coast in general. Wow, I actually was not home for Hurricane Helene. That struck during my first race weekend of this trip. And I can tell you that it's very stressful to be away from home when a hurricane is coming to town. This has happened to my family, to us a few times. And fortunately, my house is built up with fantastic hurricane codes. My kids are older, and the benefit for us is that the storm smacks into the coast and then has a good 70 miles until it comes to Gainesville. So that actually makes things a little less awful for us, because those storm surges on our coasts are horrific. Poor Cedar Key, just really, it's been obliterated. But as you've seen, Hurricane Helene has traveled up the United States, wreaking havoc. And yeah, no one wants to live through a hurricane, but you don't want to be away from your home while one is coming. So lots of love and well wishes to everyone who's been harmed by that storm. And yeah, we lost power for about 24 hours, but it actually, I think, worked to benefit my family, because my kids were together and they couldn't be online and they couldn't be in front of the TV. So they played board games and they walked the dogs and they went for rides, and they had really nice time together, which is the silver lining, right? Basically, in almost every situation, there are silver linings to be found. And gosh darn it, I'm going to find them every time. And we will be right back.
Are you looking for the perfect gift for a loved one battling cancer? The Cancer Comeback Series by Fitz Koehler offers hope, inspiration, and practical guidance. With Your Healthy Cancer Comeback, My Noisy Cancer Comeback, and the Healthy Cancer Comeback Journal. These books are a lifeline for all patients and survivors. Right now, you can order autographed copies at a special discount. Show your support and help a loved one go from sick to strong. Visit fitzness.com today. That's FITZNESS.com. Fitzness.com.
We're back. I've got a bunch of questions to answer today, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my travels, a little bit more about my races, which have been pretty fantastic. But I'm going to start with one of my favorite questions that I've ever been asked, and I wish I could remember who asked the question. It's on Mondays. I'm trying to share on my Instagram story, just ask me a question. And y'all have been asking great questions. And this one's so good. It's, what's more important, motivation or discipline? And so I want you to think about it right now. Take a moment. Which is more important when it comes to fitness or basically anything in life? motivation or discipline? Okay, I'm sure you have your ideas. I firmly believe that discipline is leaps and bounds more important than motivation. Motivation can wane. Motivation ebbs and flows. Discipline is your commitment to doing the thing. All right? Some people say, oh, I know I need to work out, or I know I need to eat wisely, but I'm just not motivated. Well, who cares? These are just things you have to do. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not motivated to pay my property taxes every year. I'm not motivated. That massive bill comes in and I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm a bad American. There I am. I don't want to pay that big bill, but I do because I'm disciplined and I know that the IRS will rain hell down on me if I do not pay that property tax bill. So I do it. Same thing goes for many other situations in your life. It's not about wanting to, it's about doing it, being committed to doing the right thing no matter what. I mean, how many times do you wake up and you're like, I can't wait to brush my teeth. I love teeth. I love clean teeth and I really want to get it done. And you just wake up and brush your teeth, I hope. And so discipline, this is your commitment to doing the right thing, whether it's paying bills or supervising your children or showing up at school or showing up at work. That is discipline. When it comes to fitness, when it comes to exercise, when it comes to putting quality food in your mouth and rejecting the unhealthy choices abound and going to sleep at a good time and waking up at a great time, all of those things require discipline. Your discipline is your ability to follow through. And that is most important because there's a lot of people who are really motivated. I want to lose lots of weight. I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. Oh my gosh. I have so many people who are constantly for years now, posting on social media. Okay, I've had it. I'm going to do it. This time I mean it. I'm going to post. I'm going to lose all this weight and I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. I see it all the time. That is motivation. They were inspired. They got excited. They are motivated. And then the very next day, I see a photo of their cocktail. They're at a bar or at their home drinking alcohol. You know what? That just tells me right there, you're not disciplined. You're not going to do it. You're not going to achieve your goals. Motivation is crap without discipline. Discipline, those are our Navy SEALs, right? They do it anyways. They wake up. They may not want to do the thing, but they do it anyways. That is discipline. Discipline wins the day every stinking time. So whether you are motivated or not, I hope you are a person who can commit to doing the right thing, whether it's fitness or finances or child rearing or being a faithful spouse, whatever it is. I hope that discipline is one of your great character traits because that will go a long way. Fantastic question. Thank you so much for that. Whoever sent me that question, I think it was Val, but I'm not sure. Okay, my next question is from Jenny. That's Gidget Girl on Instagram. Jenny is one of my fitness fiends, my ambassadors, and her question this week was, what is my favorite single leg strength training exercise? And I would like to start by sharing with you why single leg training is important. Single leg training is important because that's how we function in life. There's very few times that humans get up and hop on 2 feet from place to place. When we do a race, I've never ever seen anyone, and I've seen probably 1 million people do races, right? I've never seen them hop with 2 feet, boing, 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 like a bunny rabbit down the course. Our legs work independent of each other. And so, especially when it comes to sports, we should be training our body to perform the way we use it, right? We want to train our body to function at a high level the way it's to be used in our sport. And let's call it just the sport of life with our legs. But we do right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg. That's how things work for us for the most part. Certainly when you get up out of a chair, you might be extending at the same time, both feet planted on the ground, and you rise up on 2 legs, but it's rare. And so when you do single leg exercises, you are preparing your body to perform the way they will perform in real life and in sports. And so my favorite strength training exercises for single leg is lunges, And they could be walking lunges. They could be standing lunges where you take a giant step forward and a giant step back, or a giant step to the side. But lunges are just the go-to. You can also remain stationary, lift one foot off the ground, and lower your body to the ground. That's a single leg squat, not to the ground, but maybe at about your knees about 90-degree angles. So that's a single leg squat, like that, a whole bunch. If you're at the gym and you're using a hack squat or a leg press, one foot on the plate, and then you press, easy peasy. If you're going to do hamstring curls, one at a time is better than two at a time. And so I love single leg training. I do a lot of single leg training, and especially when I'm running races, when I'm training for a longer distance, a half or a full marathon, I spend a ton of time doing single leg training, because if I don't, I know my knees are going to bow in like most people do, and I'm going to have horrible knee and horrible hip pain. And so single leg training is the secret to keeping your glutes strong and your quads strong and your hamstrings, etc., and allowing them to perform at their best the way you use them. So fantastic question, Jenny. David Gare, he asked what my favorite running distance is. My favorite running distance is 10K with obstacles. So sometimes I think 5K isn't enough. I enjoy a 5K. I really enjoy a 5K. I've got no shame about that. I think it's a wonderful distance. It's just a perfect exercise distance. If you're aiming for fitness, just pure exercise, you're going to get off of work or wake up in the morning, go out and do 3 miles. That's an awesome distance to cover for a healthy body. But to be really, really challenged, for me, I think 10K is a nice distance. And I say really challenged without being challenged too much. You know what I'm saying? It's 6.2 miles. That's a long way to go, but I'm not overdoing it. So I really like the 10K. And then if I'm going to be doing an event, I love 10K with obstacles involved. I just really enjoy obstacle course races. I enjoy the climbing and the swinging and the hanging. And I love the strength challenges. And I actually love failing, because when I fail to do all of the pull-ups or the rope climbs or the things that are outside of my strength capabilities at the moment, I know at least I'm challenging my body. I'm pushing it to its max, which is a lot of fun for me. And really, obstacle course races are filled with giggles. There's obstacles, and then there's 10 times as many giggles on the course, which mean a lot to me. So 10K distance plus obstacles is my favorite. All right, another great question. How do I stay positive on my blah or not feeling it days? And it's a great question. And of course I get those. And I believe you do too, right? Everybody has blah days. Everybody has sad feelings. Sometimes I get them and I have no idea where they came from. Why do I feel this way? Nothing went wrong. Nobody was mean to me. I just have this weight on my chest and I don't like it. And it's it's funny for me because I have such a naturally happy personality. I am this enthusiastic in real life. I don't have to force it ever. It's just who I am. And I'm so grateful for that. It's a real gift. My daughter has it too. And it's a blessing for both of us. And we both really appreciate that. But when you're so high all the time and then you feel this sadness or I don't know, just the weight on your chest, it's a real swing in the opposite direction. And so how do I handle that? Well, what I don't do is I don't do anything negative. I never take sadness and pick up a glass of beer or vodka or wine ever. I would never do that. I never do anything harmful to myself or to anybody else. I just don't, I refuse to go in the negative way. That's the discipline, right? When you're motivated to do something that's cranky, yet you maintain your positive attitude or at least your clean behaviors. That's the discipline we were talking about earlier. But how do I deal with it? So number one, I'm grateful for every day. I feel like, okay, I don't feel so great right now, but at least I'm here. And then like I did when I was sick, when I had cancer, I would always think, well, there's babies in the hospital with cancer, and that's way worse than being a grown-up with cancer. And so I look around, and if you look around, you will find people who have a real reason to be upset, to feel sad, to be miserable. Perhaps your position isn't worthy of a real big breakdown. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you look around and even if you lost your job, okay. But are there other jobs? Yeah. May it take some effort to find it? Sure. But maybe it'll be a better job, right? And so perspective, I always start with perspective. That's a huge deal for me. And, there is the sunny disposition, but then there's my choices. And perspective is a choice. And I think having a happy personality is a learned behavior. This is something you can learn to become. You can become a positive person, even if you feel like your whole life you've been more negative. It's just the habit of thinking outside the box, thinking about people who have it worse, and thinking, okay, you've lost your job today, but someone lost their legs today, right? Maybe someone lost their mother today. Someone lost their daughter today, their son. So, wouldn't the person who lost their mother or son be so grateful if the biggest problem they had in the world was losing their job, right? So I'm not diminishing losing your job or any other hardships, but we have choices, and that's where discipline comes in, and you can choose to be grateful, not to be in a worse situation. So that's number one. And number two, really thinking about how people have it worse. That's number two. Number three is I pursue things and people I love. So I will acknowledge, ouch, I feel bad today. I don't like this. What can I do to lift myself up out of this dark place? And for me, I have go-tos. I know exactly what lifts Fitz Koehler up. It starts with being outside. Fresh air feels way better to me than indoor air. So I just go outside. Stepping outside of a building is a game changer for me. Being with animals. Piper and Joey, my besties, they are a perfect solution to whatever is going on. Hugging these dogs, because the dogs, they don't know what's going on. I can't even tell them. I mean, I could tell them what's going on, but they just, they don't have a response. They're not going to try to fix it. They're not going to try to convince me. Otherwise, they're just going to be there for love. And so Piper and Joey are a big part of my solutions. Sometimes I pick up my guitar, just doing something else. Music makes me happy. Playing music makes me happy. Exercise is right at the top for me. I mean, I remember when my dad's mother died. It was my first grandmother to die. And I didn't even think about it. I just went straight to the gym. And I got on the stepper for like an hour. That was at 18. That was my knee-jerk response. I wasn't trying to fix my problem. I just had to go there. And so I know now when I have that nasty energy all coiled up in my chest, I can expel it through exercise, whether I'm hitting a heavy bag or swimming or walking or strength training. I can actually vomit out the bad feelings through exercise. So that's a big solution for me. Being with my friends, listening to music, podcasts make me happy. I hope this podcast makes you happy sometimes. But yeah, I know what my choices are for lifting my spirits, and then I pursue them. You have to take control of yourself. I mean, sure, you could sit around, you could drink wine and play sad music and eat ice cream and just do things that make you worse. Oh, that's basking in it. Okay, be one of those people. I don't really want you to be. I mean, I guess my role in your life here is to convince you not to be the person who basks in misery. So it's okay to feel stress. It's okay to feel sadness. Cry, get it out. You spend your 15 minutes on the boohoo and then take action on your own behalf. Take action. That's how I get past the blah days. And the other thing is, I never, ever, ever let the opinions of others control me. I don't. If you hate my guts, okay, fine for you. Those are your hateful feelings. They're not mine. If you don't like me, okay. I am well aware that I am not going to win over everybody on earth. So if you are going to curse me out at the grocery store because maybe I pushed my cart in front of yours, or you think I'm a bad driver, or you hate my hair, or you hate my face, all right, those are your hostile feelings. I'm not going to keep those. I'm not receiving them. And so you got to choose that. If your sister's a bitch, or your cousin's a nasty pants, or your boss is a jackass, okay, fine. Let them be that. Don't absorb it, okay? Just put on your little invisible force field and go along your happy way. But other people should not have any control over the way you feel inside. Okie doke. Well, those are my questions and answers of the week. And now I'm going to tell you about the Detroit Women's Half Marathon 10K and 5K. It was a few weeks ago, mid-September. And I've been announcing this race since I think the second year of its existence. I think it was 2015 I started announcing this race. It might have actually been 2014. And I just adore it. And I adore my race director, who's the owner of the company, Epic Races. She is just one of those wickedly talented, smart, capable women who just has created something out of nothing. She was a teacher and a triathlete, and she decided that she wanted to build her own business. She actually used to have a partner putting on triathlons, and then it expanded into marathon and duathlon and 5K and all sorts of holiday races. She's incredible. Her races are top tier. They're very well organized, and she's not a mean girl. You know what? I got to say it. There are quite a few mean girls that I have had the disprivilege to roll with, and Eva Solomon is not one of them. She's just a lovely woman who lifts people up instead of putting anyone down, and it's a privilege to be there. But the other thing that I've accrued being the race announcer for her on many of her races is so many friends, and I have my Hottie Body Fitzness Challenge, which everybody should be a part of. If you are trying to get fitter or try to lose weight or trying to eat healthier or could just use some encouragement, golly, I would love it if you would join my Hottie Body Fitzness Challenge on Facebook. It's a group, and 2,000-ish of the most wonderfully supportive people on earth. And they're there to just share their fitness goals, their fitness training, lift each other up. We formed so many friendships across America and Canada and beyond through this group. And I'm so proud of everybody. So when I go to Michigan, I have so many hotties there. I have people that have shown up at my races that I've connected with and then kept, right? They're my people. I own them. That's right. If you're one of my Michigan hotties, you know it. You're my person. I own you and you own me right back. But it's such a treat to be able to connect with so many people in Michigan. I feel like California and Michigan are my other home bases for racing, and I look forward to it every year. So this is what you should know is we had a lot of hotties come out. I had Katie Stefaniak come out, Kelly Prevette, Val Diem, Tammy Milliken, Janelle Cooper, and then Adrian was there, Sally Smith, Lauren Fox, and a few more. But the first five who've been hotties for a very long time. Such a cool crew because they've all overcome something special. These are women who have jobs and families and all sorts of regular stuff going on in their life, but they make a commitment to fitness and encouraging each other, and they're close with each other, which is really special to me. It's like a mom when you see your kids playing together, go, oh, they're playing together. I really like that. I love it when my people are friends with my other people. And these women are top tier. But I was looking at them thinking, gosh, they're all overcomers. They all have these really special stories. And it's just a privilege. It's a privilege to be with them. We spent some fun time. We went around some sort of Frankenstein festival, some sort of Halloween. What was it? Franken festival, something like that. Well, we had some quality time together, and that was really cool. But Katie Stefaniak, she's been a hottie forever and ever with her husband, Jason, but she recently had knee surgery, yet she's still training for her marathon in January, and she ran the half marathon in Detroit, which was awesome. Again, straight out of knee surgery a couple of months ago, she came out, ran the half, and killed it. Kelly Prevette. Kelly has 20 years of sobriety. She tells me 20 years ago she was in jail, and now she's fitter than she was 20 years ago. She's recently lost 50 pounds by using the formula. Watch what she puts in her mouth. Oh, and she shows up with a custom-made outfit. That's right. She made her running skirt. She made her running shirt. And I say made it. She made it with needle and thread and cloth. Really made it. Not just screen printed the stuff. She makes her own clothing, which is such an incredible talent. And Be Still My Heart, she had on one shoulder my fitzness.com logo, which was super cool. And then on the other shoulder, she had a custom screen that said Fitz's Hotties Team Michigan with the shape of Michigan, the little mitten on her shoulder. Just, that's the stuff that makes my heart explode. How fortunate am I that not only do I have these people in my life to be friends and I have the good fortune to guide them, to steer them towards fitness, but then they're so receptive and excited to be a part of this group. They're making shirts, and Katie's made shirts before, and Janelle has made shirts before. I mean, all of that stuff is very meaningful to me. So love that. Val Diem, who's a sweet pea, she actually drove me to our expo day. Val is a stroke survivor, and she had a stroke almost 10 years ago. But this is the cool thing. Right before her stroke, she had run the Detroit Women's Half Marathon. And she told me, she said, listen, if I wasn't in such good shape that I ran that half marathon, I would not have bounced back fully from the stroke. She would not have made as great of a recovery if she wasn't so fit at the time of her stroke. And so the same thing went for my cancer care. The same thing goes for so many other people. Do not put off health and fitness, because the healthier and stronger you are going into any sort of physical crisis, the more likely you will be to rebound and recover fully and efficiently. And so her fitness at the time of her stroke was really beneficial to her full recovery. And so she ran the 10K in Detroit, and that was just awesome. Awesome. Loved it. Well done, Val. Janelle Cooper. I love Janelle. Janelle has lost over 100 pounds as a hottie, which is flabbergasting. It's a life-changing amount of weight to lose. And she's run many 5Ks. And gosh, when I announced the Detroit Free Press marathon and 5K a few years ago, she had a shirt, I think it said, I run for Fitz hugs, which of course I was thrilled to give her as many hugs as she needed. That was so fun. But then this weekend, at Detroit, this year, she did the 10K. It was the first time she ever did an official 10K. And so she's unstoppable. It just makes me so happy to see her charging towards those finish lines. And another thing that's really cool about Janelle is she feels it in the moment what she's accomplishing. She crosses those finish lines with tears and pride. There's so much pride there. And I feel the same thing for her. And it's exquisite to be a part of that accomplishment. And so Janelle, I know she doesn't want to hear this, but I told her that next year she has to do the half marathon. And she said, no. But she had just done 10 miles previously, I think the week prior, with her boyfriend. And boyfriend does long distances too. So what a great training partner. Oh, as a sidebar, I always think it's very funny when grownups won't call their boyfriend or girlfriend when they insist on using the word partner. Because for me, partners are people you do business with. And if I were 95 and I had a boyfriend, you bet your ass I'd be saying, oh, look at my boyfriend. boyfriend. So anyways, her boyfriend is also an endurance athlete. And I just think that's so cool. So Janelle, please put it on your calendar to run the half marathon next year. I have zero doubt you can do it. I know you can. I just hope you want to. Obviously, you got to want to. And then, so these are the girls that I expected to see from the hottie group that weekend. And I arrive at the start line on Sunday morning, and I'm one of the first people there because I'm staff, right? And as soon as I get there, I get a tap on my shoulder. I turn around. It's freaking Tammy Milliken from South Carolina, who she came out last year, and last year was planned. It was going to be her first half marathon after beating breast cancer. And so that was really exciting to have Tammy there. Sean Matlock came out from California to be with her and support her, and it was so much fun. And her financial guy, Sean, came out last year to support her. He didn't run, but he was there the whole time, and he really dug the event. And so I did not expect Tammy to be back this year. Last year was the big half marathon post breast cancer. So I thought for sure she wasn't coming. And then tapped me on the shoulder. I turn around. There's Tammy, which was absolutely thrilling. Not only is she now a year post breast cancer treatment, but she just broke her wrist a couple of months ago, had surgery, and then she's out there running again. I mean, she's just an animal. She is a fierce, monster of an athlete who will take no prisoners when it comes to her commitment to exercise. There is no fail in her. There is no quit in her. Even through her cancer care, through chemo and radiation, she stuck with it with her trainer, Mike Anders, who's a really funny guy who seems to be a fantastic trainer as well. But what a delight to have her show up as a surprise. Lauren with Run to Thrive Coaching, she won a free registration to the half marathon on my Instagram giveaway. I didn't realize she was coming from Florida. So she flew up from Florida to do this race, and it was a delight to see her. Adrienne wasn't feeling good, so that's Adrienne Young. She was scheduled to run the half marathon, getting over a sickness, so she downgraded to a 5K. Folks, I want you to know that that is a wise decision. If you are sick and it's race day, either do not start or downgrade. There's no shame in being an intelligent person who knows when to say when. And so I was really proud of her. She's a very talented athlete. Yeah, she can run really far and she can run really fast. But on that day, she shouldn't have. And it was warm, and she probably would have paid a pretty negative price for doing so. And so I like that she put her ego aside and just went out. And I think she really ran fast for the 5K, as she does. But I was proud of her for downgrading. And if you get to race day and you're sick or getting over a sickness or something's hurting, it's okay to downgrade or just don't start. Sometimes those are the most impressive accomplishments of a race weekend, knowing what's best for your health. And she certainly did. Sally Smith was there, a wonderful woman, sweet face. I love taking some fun pictures with her before we all went home. But anyways, Detroit was fantastic. If you are anywhere near there or anywhere far away from there, it's one of those events I do every year, and I think you should give it a go. It's great to see so many women coming together and being supportive and happy. And it's on Belle Isle in Detroit where, there's an island. It's not the Steel Drum Band kind of island, but it's beautiful. I think it's more like a state park island in the north, and it's great. My Mud Girl events in Los Angeles and SoCal, which is Lake Elsinore, just incredible. Just incredible. If you are someone who thinks, I can't do a mud run, well, you're wrong. You're wrong. I think I've seen about 25,000 women over the past 2 weekends, and every type of woman from 7 years old, I think was our youngest that I saw, to 80. Oh my gosh. Connie Hayes. I got to tell you about Connie Hayes. I'm standing on my little stage, so my start line experience for Mud Girl is very interactive. It's me and everyone's right in front of me at my fingertips and hundreds at a time. And we dance and I get to know the crowds. It's much different than announcing a monster marathon. I get to be a lot more interactive with the people starting the races. But I see these 3 women. One of them's wearing a shirt that says the original. And then the next one has a shirt that says the remake. And the third says part 3 or something like that. But it's 3 generations. And Connie, the original, I asked her, I said, well, you probably do a lot of races. And she said, no, this was my very first race. So at 80, she was not only doing her first 5K, her first race of any sort, but she was doing it at a mud run. And she was going to do obstacles and go belly down in the mud. And it elated me. It's such a cool thing to see, right? And it was my mom's birthday this past week, and my mom just turned 84. Happy birthday, Mom. And I had the whole crowd give a happy birthday, Mom, to her, which made her very happy. But, I would kill to be able to go do a race with my mom. How fortunate. If you're someone who's maybe your mom has passed, I know you would probably kill to be able to do something cool like that with her too. And I don't know, just these opportunities to have adventure together. They're very special. They are very special. Of course, with our families, we do things like eat dinner. Golly, there's so much oh, the family dinner is the most important thing, to sit down at dinner. Okay, I like doing that too. I like sitting at a table with my family and chatting, and there's certainly some good tradition to that. I'm not poo-pooing it. But I think that's way more cooler to get out and go for walks with your family and ride bikes together and do races or kick the ball or throw the ball, or I don't know, dance together, right? Being active together, having laughter, having fitness, being outside. I think those are the things we should be talking about as opposed to the real deal about us sitting in chairs, stuffing our mouths. And if you're talking with food in your mouth, gross, right? So food creates a barrier to connection because you shouldn't be talking with food in your mouth. And so when you're exercising, probably a lot more opportunity to connect and interact. And so I love not only it was Connie and her daughter and her granddaughter, but we have hundreds and hundreds of mother-daughter teams come out over the weekend and grandparents and sisters and cousins, and they all have matching outfits. I mean, not all of them, but lots of them do. And it's a delight. It's a privilege. Yeah. And know this, whenever I'm standing at a start line, I'm looking at all of you. I'm thinking, holy hell, I can't believe I get to be with these awesome people. You know, the people that are doing the thing, they're taking care of their bodies, which is what I wish for, which I wish everybody would do, right? Because I know exercise is such a solution for our personal issues, for our group issues, for the world's issues. If everybody exercised, we'd have a lot fewer issues. But also, you're committed to doing nice things for your communities and great cause, and it's just so meaningful. So when I tell you I love you from that start line, I mean it. And these mud girl races particularly are so cool because I do see the deep connections between our participants. And then I always ask, is anybody here alone? And a handful of hands will go up. And then the women surrounding those solo riders, they absorb them into their group. And now they're not alone anymore. Now they're part of a team. And hopefully they're making lifelong friends the way I have with you guys through running and racing. So Mud Girl, love that. I'll be in Phoenix October 18th-ish. And Ginger, my daughter, will be announcing Mud Girl Houston October 5th. That same weekend, I will be in Columbus, Ohio, October 5th. And then I'll be in San Diego, November 16th with Mud Girl. So please join us. What else? Big thanks to Janet Dial, one of the vice presidents of the Los Angeles Zoo, for the personal tour she gave Rudy and I last week. Incredible. We got to see a jaguar feeding. They had a special animal encounter where the zookeeper fed the jaguar, waited to feed it just for us. We were there before the zoo opened. And listen to this. The jaguar, you know what this jaguar eats? Apparently has a sensitive stomach. So the jaguar eats rats, but not just rats. The jaguar can't handle the rat first. So the zookeeper skin the rats and then place them out in strategic places around the jaguar exhibit so the jaguar can run around and find the rats, the naked rats, and eat them. Pretty disgusting, I gotta tell you. I totally understand that a rat is probably a perfect snack for a jaguar, but not fun for squeamish Fitz Koehler to watch that experience. But the jaguar was beautiful. And then we got to help feed the chimpanzees. There were 14 chimpanzees at the LA Zoo. They have a monster exhibit. And we were brought backstage. And then it's hard to, kind of an overlook of the exhibit. So we were maybe 15 feet above where the chimpanzees were. And we had a massive box of tomatoes to throw to them. They had already eaten their oranges, which they love. And the chimpanzees would come underneath us and wave their arms around and make sounds to say, over here, throw it over here. And so we basically got to play catch with chimpanzees. We'd throw the tomato, they'd catch it, eat it, and then put their hand up and ooh, ooh, ah, ah, and make raspberries, asking for more tomatoes. So, of course, I wanted to dive in and give them all kisses and snuggles. And of course, they wouldn't have ripped my face off. But yeah, nobody has up close and personal interactions with those chimpanzees because they are wild animals and they are very powerful. And yeah, it was just cool to play catch with chimps. And Janet Dial, thank you. It was an extraordinary morning, and I love you, beautiful girl. And I hope your health returns to normal soon so you can go run everywhere around the world you'd like to run. All right. So my communication tip for this week: do not chew gum while you're talking to people. And so, yes, you can chew gum. I'm not your mommy. I'm not telling you can't chew gum. However, you should probably stick with chewing gum when you're in private, when you're not having conversations, because 0 people want to hear that smacking of your gum or see it sloshing around in your mouth. It's just a gross habit. It's really immature. It's unprofessional. I actually was giving a presentation. I was on a panel at a university many years ago, and there's a guy who I actually think he's a very intelligent, capable professional. But he sat next to me on that stage and smacked his lips and cracked that gun. This horrible sound while he was talking. And it was embarrassing and gross and shameful. And it was totally unprofessional. I thought, what in the world makes you think this is okay? It's not okay. It's bad. And if you're on a date, ew. And if you're with your grandpa, ew. And if you're in front of your kids, ew. Don't do it. My mom taught me, and I sound like such a snob. That's fine. I'm okay. I don't mind having standards. When I was a little kid, my mother would say, if you chew gum, I'm only going to let you chew gum if you can do it in a way where absolutely nobody knows it's in your mouth. And that's the best way. You've got your lips together, you're chewing, you're not making sounds, nobody can see it. And as a little kid, you're not allowed to have gum in school. But I learned to chew gum in a way where the teacher didn't know I was chewing gum. That's the way gum should be chewed, in a way where nobody even knows it's in your mouth. And so that's my communication tip for the day. You should not be at work smacking your gum, or on a date smacking your gum, or anywhere where you care about what people's opinion is of you, and if you care about their quality experience. Because again, if you're smacking your lips, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody's having a good time. Song of the week. I love this one. It's a modern song, not a throwback song. It's MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, and Jelly Roll for Lonely Road. It's kind of lower key than I usually like, but yeah, can you go hiking and listen to Lonely Road? Yeah. Can you go canoeing? Can you stretch? Can you do Pilates or strength training? For sure, but it's a good one. It's a really good song, and I love it, and I think you'll love it too. So there you go, friends. That is all I have to say for this week, but I'm going to end it the way I started it. Discipline. Discipline over motivation. If you have decided to accomplish something, forget how you feel. Be disciplined. Do the thing you need to do to get where you want to go. I love you so much. Get to work.
Hi, this is Rudy Novotny, the voice of America's Marathons. We all love how much running has benefited every aspect of our lives, so much so that most of us only wish we'd started sooner. Wouldn't it be wonderful to gift the opportunity to children of today? Well, you can. The Morning Mile is a before-school walking and running program that gives children a chance to start each day in an active way while enjoying fun, music, and friends. That's every child, every day. It's also supported by a wonderful system of rewards, which keeps students highly motivated and frequently congratulated. Created by our favorite fitness expert, Fitz Koehler, Morning Milers across the country have run over 2 million miles and are having greater success with academics, behavior, and sports because of it. The Morning Mile is free to the child, free to the school, and is inexpensively funded by businesses or generous individuals. Help more kids get moving in the morning by visiting morningmile.com. Champion the program at your favorite school or find out more about sponsorship opportunities. That's morningmile.com. Long may you run.